have one too.
It's just so hot today in South Africa.
I know, absolutely. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and we can always confess first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And you know what? I actually have something to drink today. I'm drinking on some water. And not just some water that I had laying around, a full, actual, real bottle of water. So,
Work.
hydration is important. So drink your water, people. And I also have my cup mug. And that makes us a panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup. You can hardly see it, but it's there. A panel full of cup mugs. Happening party. And Love Island edition. And you can get your cup merch or any of our cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically. So there are no excuses unless your postal service is moving a little bit slow or somebody, me, forgot to update her Etsy shop. So things are taking a little bit slower time. But it's still coming because I'm taking care of it. So everything will be up and running very soon. Like before you watch this video, it'll probably be fixed. So you can still order it right now. But stuff is slowing down, but it's gonna come. But thanks for ordering though. And thanks for being patient with me because I forget that I have to update that thing every so often.
Lovely. And I'm looking for faith with something gay. Today I'm just drinking on some water. Because like I said, it's hot in South Africa and I'm heated after this episode.
Aren't we all? But we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to get right into
a lot to talk about, and yet also not
nothing
much to talk about.
Right? It literally is that. But before we do that, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to all of our channels. Oop, not that.
I'm just switching us back to our purple.
Period. All right. I was like, when did we become blue? I didn't know.
When we did RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, available over on our main channel, The Cup Pod. So make sure to go check out our coverage of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17.
Which is in the description below. Absolutely. And you can subscribe to that channel. And you need to subscribe to this channel because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And so to those who have subscribed, thank you. To those who are thinking about it, just do it. And to those this is your first time watching, hello. Hi, how you doing? Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video because we are putting out content on most things, competition reality shows. So subscribe to these channels and all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links if you need to check us out on the go, and as well as our Patreon, which is about to start heating up. We got a lot of new ideas coming down the pipe for you, and we're going to get things out there. So you might want to check out our Patreon because things are about to happen, and you'll get to know us as a cup panel, and we're going to have some fun stuff. So check out our Patreon. And get that. We're going to get that going. But let's talk Love Island. This episode's 25 to 26, y'all. This was something.
Confusion is my theme of these two episodes. Confusion, delusion, all those kinds of things.
I would agree with you on all of those things. So
right.
Let's check out where we were, where we left off. Our couples were Catherine and Omar, Gabby and Casey, Sammy and Elma, Danielle and Chugs, Harriet and Ronnie, Ekin-Su and Curtis, and Sammy and Luca, all voted in by the public. And our singles were Tina and Grace.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. But after this vote by the public,
Yeah.
everybody's just, they don't know what to do. Chuck seemed to be happy with his, although, can I just say I was right?
You were
I was correct.
100%. You were
I said,
100% correct.
I don't think that man, if the decision was his, he would have picked Danielle. He was leaning towards Tina. And he confirmed that on this episode that he
Yep.
was, in fact, leaning towards Tina and not Danielle. But he said he was still open to getting to know Danielle, but not closed off to Tina and still want to get to know her and all of that. And I was like, okay, cool. I mean, that's fine. That's perfectly fair with him just coming into the villa. He has options to talk to anybody he wants. And so he liked the conversation with Tina. But he liked the conversation with Danielle, and they were doing it. But then when it came to Luca and Sammy, on the other hand, of course, we had Grace acting like a brat, a very juvenile brat, um, just doing things just to be doing them. Like, I get you like the man. I understand you like the man, and he likes you. But do we forget what show this is? Do we forget the show we are on? I don't know why we have to say this every time we come into the studio to do a Love Island podcast. Why do these people forget what show they are on? Why?
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Mm.
And it wasn't like Sammy picked Luca. It was the public who picked Luca. And then, well, what is the public seeing that I'm not seeing? Obviously,
That you're a
something.
petulant child, Grace.
And rude and entitled and spoiled.
Yep.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy how a couple of episodes can make you fall from grace in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Pun intended. Because I liked her, Luca. I was like, yeah, they're great.
We all did.
We all did.
We all sat here, Lana, and we were praising them, and we were like, oh, they could win. I think they're, the strongest couple in here. Now, I do still think they could win. Yeah, I don't want them to anymore.
Right. Not because I would like that. It's the public apparently likes.
But at Luca. This point, who knows what the public likes? I am really interested to see if we are going to get any kind of public vote here in the next couple of days before we, eventually wrap up here in a couple of weeks. I'm really intrigued to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
And see what the public actually thinks. I mean, I'm curious and I'm intrigued.
I am too. I'm very curious. Look, I'm invested now. I didn't went this far.
Right.
I'm going to see this through so I can see what happens. But yeah, it's just a lot. And I hated how they made Sammy feel. Like, I think Sammy was treated very unfairly in this situation. Very unfairly throughout both of these episodes, I'm be honest. She walked away. She was like, this isn't even who I picked. And this is not that I thought she would pick anybody else. I don't know who she would have picked, even after Luca closed it off and said that there's no, I don't know who she would have picked at that moment, at that point. But right. She's crying. Grace is crying. Luca's comforting her. Sammy has a couple of the girls comforting her, like, it's not your fault, babes. You didn't do this. This isn't you. You owe it to yourself to explore your feelings, see what it is, if anything can come from it, whatever. But I'm like, at this point, it's a no.
The damage is done.
It's a no. It's done. Like, it just feels like we're beating a dead horse at this point. Luca has already made his intentions clear. He doesn't want to be in a couple with anybody else but Grace. And if that's what that person wants, that's what they want. It is what it is. And it doesn't matter how I feel about her or anybody else feels about her or what the experience is.
Yeah.
If that man has made up his mind and that girl has made up her mind, then that's what it is. So
Exactly.
They're talking and everybody's trying to get everybody. It was just a mess of a night. And so everybody goes to bed. Luca and Grace ends up sleeping outside together. And Sammy is in the bed by herself. Even like Grace is like, I don't like my name, her name next to Luca in the bed. Like, I don't even want that. I'm just like, girl, grow up.
Literally, like everything about this just frustrates me because I'm just like, I genuinely feel like Sammy's entire experience, we'll talk about it, has been ruined by the fact that Grace couldn't get over the fact that she came in, wanted her man. She ended up blaming both of them in this scenario when she came in to do exactly what she needed to do. Grace was literally a bombshell and did the exact same thing. So I don't understand, like, and even in the chat that they had where they squashed it, she's like, I understand you needed to do what you needed to do. I understand being a bombshell, blah, 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 blah. You don't understand, Grace. It doesn't feel like you understand. It feels like you are too overprotective of Luca, and it's a lot of your insecurity is popping up.
Mm-hmm. A whole lot.
That's just tea.
It is, and this is where I'm like, I get Luca having these strong feelings for her, but baby, in the long run, that is gonna get old and that's gonna get tired because if she can't handle somebody wanting her man in the villa. What is she gonna do when they get outside and he is not around her 24/7? Other girls gonna be coming, slipping and sliding up in the DMs. It's gonna be girls at the clubs, at the pubs, trying to get on her, and they're not gonna care. And she go fight every time. She gonna do this whole petulant child like. Luca is going to run. He is going to run because he gonna get sick of that. They're not making it.
Like Luca is showing enough humility and enough maturity in this situation. Like, you need to trust what you have with him. You could have trusted him from the beginning and you stopped trusting him, and that's why he went the way that he did, honestly. Like it frustrates me. This whole situation frustrates me.
It was wild. And so they all go to bed hopefully to start a new day and start fresh. And instantly in the morning, it still is more foolishness from Grace. Like, she can't even come in the morning and say good morning without signing. So, like, it's just annoying. But the day starts, and they get a text, and they say that Chugs and Danielle and Luca and Sammy are leaving the villa to go on a date. And I was like, who the producers are messy?
Like, I understand. Here's the thing. I understand that they had this organized. I understand that they had this plan. This was in their logistics plan, probably from the start of the season. They were like, all right, we're going to bring in the bombshells. They're going to steal, or they're going to steal because the public picks that. And then we're gonna take these two couples on a double date. Oh, that's gonna be adorable. It's gonna be so good. New couples, blah blah blah. Y'all could not write this better.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all could not write this better because on one hand, you have Sammy and Luca is just awkward as all hell because he can't be himself around Sammy for fear of what Grace is going to do. And then on the other hand, you have Danielle and Chugs who like each other and then ultimately realize after this date,
I don't like him that much. It is so wild. It is wild and crazy. Like, even while they're getting dressed to go to the date, Sammy is like, well, at least I'll get to talk to him. It won't be awkward. And Grace is like, what does she mean by that? What do you mean? Because you're always around acting like staring, glaring, and it's weird. He can't even talk to anybody else without you
Literally
getting
just
mad.
because you're acting like this, Grace. Like that's my Lord.
He can't talk to people without you acting weird. And then he knows if he doesn't keep the peace with you, it's going to be a horrible day in the villa for him. And he doesn't want that. So he'd rather keep the peace. And you're just weird. Like, it mean, yes, he can finally speak without being awkward or feeling awkward to actually say anything, even though that didn't happen because I felt like the date was still a little awkward.
Yeah. No, the date was wildly awkward. And then why is Luca asking her for advice? What is this with everybody asking the person that they are no longer romantically interested in for advice?
Don't like, or willing to give the advice, or like
right,
telling Danielle, you should just don't tell me what to do after what you just did to me. Don't tell me what to do. And I'm not.
I appreciated at least Sammy was like, just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Even though I'd be like, just be honest, because it's like you're not. It's just like, stop, don't do it. And we see them being, trying to get into that friendly conversation zone, which fine, great, because they're not going to go anywhere romantically. We get it. It's done. And then Danielle and Chugs are sitting there talking, and I was like, oh no, Danielle, you might be a red flag. We woo. Because the minute you say, oh, I think I can train you. I was like, ooh.
And without saying it, I saw everything in Chugs' eyes, and he was like,
nope.
I'm good.
I'm good on this. He was already teetering between the two. You just made that decision for him. Very clear. Very clear.
Yeah, that was really weird.
I was like, what do you mean you can train him? Is he a dog? No. Even if you think you can, you don't say it out loud, girl. And
right. That's the tea. You don't say it out loud.
Don't say it out loud. You just go and do it. And that is the problem with a lot of these women on this show, because I was like, throughout this show, I can see why none of y'all got no man. I can see why y'all can't keep a man, because y'all do stupid stuff like this, and and he gets to running. And we'll talk about some more who I was like, girl, okay, relax. But yeah, I was like, okay, Danielle, that wasn't the thing to say, because baby, you get into a relationship with a man, and yes, ladies, we know we want to train our men to do what we want them to do, the way we want it to be done, and that's perfectly fine to want that and to do that, but we don't ever say that, because the male ego is a little fragile, and we know this. So we need women. I need y'all to be women. Look, step your pussy up. Step your pussy up and be a woman and act like you know. We know that the man is the head of the house. That's what they want. They're the protectors. They all that. They go and do all that. They want to be that. That's in their nature to do that. We let them do that, but we don't let them. But we pulling the strings behind the scenes, and we don't have to tell them we doing it. It just gets done. PSA, ladies, you want to keep your man, you just run it. Let him think he's doing it, but baby, you know you're doing it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to tell him you're training him when you actually are training.
And then we come back from the date, and it's like both Chugs and Danielle are both kind of like, well.
He gets up and leans in to kiss her, and she kind of like moves away. And I was like, oh, well.
That was the straw. The straw has broken. And then she also says, I wasn't getting the banter from him that I wanted. Like, she was putting out the banter, and she wasn't getting the same banter back from him. And I do understand that.
But she wasn't putting out the banter, though. She
thought she was putting out the banter.
I was like, what banter was you giving him? You wasn't lobbying him nothing to throw back at you.
Right.
I like guys who make me laugh, who's funny and who's nice and mature.
Groundbreaking, Danielle. Groundbreaking.
I have never been so bored in my life.
And hey, I'm not gonna. Here's what I will say about Danielle. I'm not gonna put too much past her on this because we have heard on several occasions, including this episode, she was in a 5-year relationship.
Yep.
She's only been single for a couple of months at this point.
Yes.
Like, I understand her being a little bit awkward when it comes to dating again. Like, I absolutely get it.
Absolutely.
Don't go around telling the man, like we said, don't go around telling the man that you're going to train him. Just do the damn thing.
That's a PSA. And don't go around telling your girls who talk like little gossipy girls all the time that you pied him on the date, like you swerved them. Don't tell them that you swerved the man, and I think it's gonna get back to the man that you going around telling your friends that you swerved them when y'all live in the same place. Just another word of advice. Just a little word of advice.
Probably for the best if you didn't do that.
Probably don't do that. So everybody's trying to figure out how the date went, and Chugs is like, I mean, it was fine. We talked, and it was fine. Nothing too spectacular. It was just a good, nice date. Went to a vineyard, and it was great. Mm-hmm. And so they were trying to figure out what happened with Luca's date, and he was like, I mean, we talked. It was a date. Luca said it was a day. We spent the day together.
It was a day. A day out.
And Ronnie was like, what are you, 12-9? It was a date. It was a date. It was like, I mean, if you want to consider us sitting across from each other, sipping on some champagne, talking, a date, sure. Because that's literally what happened. So Sammy admits and tells everybody everything that happened. And Luca cannot wait until the girls have their conversation before he is over there pulling Grace.
Cannot wait.
Cannot. Like, Sammy is literally talking about it. And he comes up, you want to chop? She was like, oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm like, okay, God. And one thing that did bother me, and I get it, I understand the reassurance part of when you're going out on a date with somebody else and you're doing it, What I don't like is, while we got to do a full-blown makeout session in front of the person you're about to go out on a date with, to let me know, look, like, not like I already don't know that there's no romantic things going on.
Literally.
But now you have to be like,
literally.
Right before we walk out the door with this other girl.
For what reason?
Why? And Grace was doing that a lot. Like, she was sticking to Luca like white on rice. Like, she was on him like never before. Like, even before Sammy got there, they were close, but she wasn't on him that like she was once Sammy got there. She was on him. Her insecurities were boom, blazing. She was on him every time Sammy was in the vicinity. She was on him. She was kissing on him. And it was just like, oh, girl.
It was gross. Like, I didn't like watching it as a viewer. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I like it was I got the egg.
Yeah.
I got the egg.
But they get back and he pulls her and he tells her exactly what happened, which is the same thing Sammy was telling her what happened. So, because it was
like, you couldn't let Sammy finish the damn conversation either. Like, that's what pissed me off too. Is like, why aren't we
it was just wild. But yeah, as y'all can see, probably Luca and Grace are down at the bottom of the barrel for couples for us at this point. Like, not even a fan.
Thank you. I'm good.
I'm good on that.
I'll pass. Unseasoned, bland chicken.
Thank you. So
bland, boring, possessive chicken.
So I can't. But so they go and they tell everything that happens, and they're fine. Everybody's like, oh, no, she said that same thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. So then they go get ready for the night. Am I right? Look, is it nighttime now?
Yeah. So we go to the night. We find out it's Snog, Marry, Pie. Yay!
And everybody's like, wait, why the night? Usually that's during the daytime. We don't do that at night, so we don't get snog and pied in our good clothes. Well, now you're going to get pied in your good clothes. Sorry.
Well, they got that eBay sponsorship. It's fine. They'll get them all new clothes, whatever.
Right. It's cool.
Like, who cares? It's fine.
And just like every other game before, there's always some unnecessary drama that has to come from the games. So the ladies start the whole thing off, and it goes pretty much like everybody decides to snog their guy because they don't want to kiss anybody else.
Exactly.
And I'm like
the results of this, the result of the girls' part of Strawberry Pie was very, very cut and dry. Right. Not much is going on. Like, I literally didn't write down a single thing as far as anything that any of the girls did.
I mean, Danielle kiss snogs, both Tina and Danielle both kiss Chugs. But that was to be expected. Like I said, all the girls snog their guys. Sammy ends up kissing Curtis on the cheek.
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, she kissed Casey on the cheek because he takes good care of Gabby. Oh no, he marries Casey because she takes good care of Gabby. Yeah. Kisses Curtis on the cheek because he's such a good person and nice person, blah, blah, blah. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy, nothing wild. The pies happen, I think, Catherine pies Curtis?
I think
she's pies Curtis. And yeah, because the whole Danielle Ekansu thing. Elma pies Ronnie, of course. Duh. Makes sense. Danielle pies Curtis, of course. Makes sense. He expected it and respected it. Sammy pies Luca, of course. Gabby pies Sammy because he's too young. I was like, okay. Sure. And who's up? Oh, Harriet pies. I forgot who Harriet pies. Luca. She pies Luca too, and then he throws it back at her, and I was like, "Ooh, Luca is such a child too." Grace pies Omar, and she is so nasty about it. It pisses me off because all of that stuff came from when that last challenge, the spin the bottle challenge, and then she's like that, shut up when I'm talking to you or something, or like who? What?
Where? Where? For what reason? In what universe? Like, I'm gonna say this. I don't know Grace outside of this villa. I don't know her. I don't know this woman. I don't know her past Love Island experiences. I don't know anything about this girl other than what we've seen on this televisual program that we are watching. But the way she moves gives me a certain kind of energy. And I'm not going to say that she is or is not something. I'm not going to jump to those conclusions. But I'm looking at her sideways for several reasons, including, why are you so hellbent on this drama situation with Omar? Why are you speaking to him this way?
Especially when he ain't been nothing but nice to you.
Well, except for the game. Like, I do. He just asked her to not do anything.
Right. Just, if you don't want to do it, just chill out. Just don't keep making remarks and comments, which is fine because other people are trying to enjoy the game.
Exactly.
She moves weird.
She moved
Um,
weird, and that's where I'm gonna leave it personally.
she moves weird. She says things that are weird. And I won't say what I
I'm
think,
not going to jump to conclusions.
but I do know that there is a air about certain people in the UK. I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
everybody, but a certain air about people in the UK when it comes to other people who might live in the UK as well, who they don't feel is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they feel like they are other. And so they treat
Yep.
them like they are other. And she moves like she treats people like they are other. And baby,
Mm-hmm.
uh, mm, I'm see. Here's me. This is me. I would have had words with her if I was Catherine. I'd be like, hold on, woman to woman. I'm gonna need you to not do that. I'm gonna need you to not talk to my man that way. Even if we're not in a relationship, he's somebody who I'm caring about right now, who I care about right now. And even if I didn't care about him, I don't want to see you talk to anybody like that. Who in my face, like you would never. But that's the difference. That is the difference that I've seen, and I found out that between us here in America and then
Yep.
across the pond, we just move different. I
Correct.
I would move totally different in that situation, and she would not speak to
Mm-hmm.
him that way. And I will tell her, you will not speak to him that way. I don't care how grown you think you are, you will not speak to him that way because that's a man. That's a grown man, and you will not talk to that
Mm-hmm.
grown man like that. Not in my presence, but that's just me. We
Mm-hmm.
move different. We move different, but I am side eyeing her. I feel that energy, but I ain't gonna say what it. But I don't know her, so I won't
Yes,
call
God.
anything out. But I just feel an energy about her.
Yes, God.
But that was weird. And so, but then it got weirder because the guys came up. And it started weird with Omar, which I was very, because I'm
Well, it
like,
started weird before that when Gabby, unprovoked, out of nowhere, is like, I think Casey's gonna snog someone else. I'm like,
yeah, why?
girl.
What?
And I mean, he
He
did,
did.
but there
But
was a reason.
it was a whole reason. And I understood these reasoning. And that's why at first I was like, okay, Omar, I get what you are doing. I
Yeah.
understand what you are doing. But I feel like you could have did it a little bit different. Like,
Yeah.
if he was gonna kiss Tina because he ends up snogging Tina because he was like, I snogged her in the first challenge, it didn't mean nothing, and I'll do it again, it still don't mean nothing. And I'm like, ooh, uh, mm. But in his mind, marriage is a whole lot more deeper than a snog, which I get, I understand fully, but I think he should have just kissed Tina on the cheek,
Yep.
just on the cheek. Or kissed another girl on the cheek and be like, he could have kissed Elma and be like, because I like how you are besties with my girl and how
Mm-hmm.
you're friends with Catherine, and I love that. Everything he could have been about Catherine. Like, I kissed Elma because I like how the friendship between you and Catherine, y'all Kiki, y'all have a good time, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he could have went to Catherine and did the whole Mary thing because I love spending time with you. I enjoy the time we have. I can't wait to see what we can build outside of this villa, blah, 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 blah. It made it very super sweet. And then pie whoever he wanted with Grace, like he should have, because a pie for a pie, and she's rude.
The way that I think Omar did not do this well, the way I
No,
think Casey did do well.
absolutely.
I think
hundred
Casey
percent.
knocked this out of the park.
And then
Such a
said
good
it too.
job.
Because
And
Gabby
then
didn't
said it.
kiss him. Gabby didn't kiss him. She
Yeah.
she no, she
Married
kissed
him.
him. No, she
Yeah.
kissed him, but he wanted her to marry him because he, like, in
Yeah.
his mind, marriage is bigger than a kiss. And so she ended up marrying somebody else. But so he did it perfectly. He went and he kissed who did he kiss on the cheek? Ekin?
I do not remember.
I think it was Ekin. I think
Yeah.
he kissed Ekin on the cheek. And then he married, and he kissed her because of how he said, because she takes care of Gabs and he's a
Oh
good
yeah,
friend,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And then he went and married Gabby and did this whole nice, sweet thing about Gabby. And it was very sweet. And it was very sweet. He did it correctly. Omar, he dropped the ball. He fumbled a little bit.
Well, and he even says afterwards.
Yes, he did.
Like, him and Catherine, to jump ahead for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Catherine talk afterwards. He was like, no, I definitely could have thought about it more in the moment. And okay, I appreciate the fact that he was like, no, I definitely could have navigated that a little bit better. He's just still in such a fresh relationship.
Absolutely.
Or in a fresh couple here that, like, I get the, you know, the awkwardness.
The missteps. I get the missteps. Yeah. What I did have a problem with, though, in this conversation with Catherine, I get you want to vent your frustrations and saying, yes, I was annoyed. You kissed her twice. I really wish you wouldn't have did that. But then you're like, do it again, babes. I'm out. Do it again, babes. That's done. We're by. I'm like, girl.
Now I love me some Catherine.
But I see why she ain't got a man.
The alarm is warming up, girl. Woo. Wee woo. Wee woo. Girl. I understand why she did it too. I get it. It's 2 times with the same person.
Right.
I get it and I see it and I understand it.
I understand it.
But also, Omar has not 100% gone in at this point
with you
for Catherine.
No.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
so
I'm telling you, I see why some of these girls ain't got no man, because they jump to conclusions, they do stuff too fast, and they be ready to pop off at any minute. It's like, you can't pop off at every second.
And here's the other thing I will say. It feels like a lot of these women have had trust issues with men in the past. Mm-hmm. I don't know these girls from their past experiences, and I absolutely get it. Sometimes you need to understand and respect that your process and what you're going through is just as valid as his process and what he's going through. And sometimes you need to trust. Not all men are trash. I know most of them are. Trust me, ladies, I understand. Most of them are trash. But some of them are moving with the right intentions. And the way that a lot of these women are acting in the villa is that all of these men are here for the wrong reasons. Yep. And I get it. I understand. Most Love Island couples do not work out. So I understand moving with a little bit of caution. But sometimes you need to trust the process and understand that it's not always a bad thing and that some guys are here for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm. You have to weed them out, and that's life. Yeah. We got to weed out the bad to find the good. And even though you meet the bad, you don't treat them bad from the start. You got to treat them good until they show you that they're not worth being treated good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A man will show you who he is. So you go into every relationship with a new perspective until they show you who they are. Then when they show you who they are, baby, bye. And you don't care about their feelings no more. Like, I don't. But I was like, Catherine, calm down, girl. Like you said, the sirens was like, who do I need to do? Nope. Okay. All right. But they figured it out. They worked it out. Everything's good. Ekin got pie 3 times.
I felt for her. I get it.
I get it. But her past mistakes is her past mistakes. And she did what she did. And twice. I think it was twice, because Luca and Sammy both pie Ekin. And for valid reasons. Both of them had valid
100%
reasons.
Valid. 100% valid.
And no, Casey, somebody else did it, and they said because you could take a joke.
Casey pied her because she could take a joke. And that was the second one. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool, that's fine, Casey. You do your thing. Whatever. I want to put a pin in that and come back to that here shortly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because there's other things that happen.
Okay.
Now, in this moment, watching this, in this moment, I went off on my notes and I was like, Chugs? Because at this point, I'm still operating in the mindset that he's still like into Danielle. Like, I'm still operating in that mindset.
Oh, yeah, no, I was out that mindset the second.
See, I was in that mindset still, so I was like, what the actual fuck is going on? Because he kisses Tina, he marries Sammy, and he pies Ekin.
Yeah.
None of these decisions in this moment made any sort of sense to me.
Yeah, no.
Except for Sammy's. Sammy's I understood.
Yes, they came in
given
together.
that they came in together, fellow bombshell, this, that, the third. Cool. I was just
understood Tina.
I understood Tina. I do really honestly wish he had just pied Danielle.
Right.
And she even said
Absolutely.
that. Like, I think that would have impressed Danielle, honestly.
Absolutely.
I think that would have impressed Danielle. And instead, he swerves Danielle the same way that she swerved him in the vineyard. And I'm like, well.
And then was gooped at Chugs, but I wasn't mad at Chugs.
Oh, I wasn't mad at Chugs either.
I said Chugs brought the entertainment.
I told you, Chugs is good TV.
He brought the entertainment in this moment.
And then what mugged me off, frankly, is that right after this game, these girls are like, oh, well, Chugs mugged Danielle off. For what reason? She literally did the same thing to him a few hours earlier. He is entitled to doing the same thing to her.
She did it to him and then told y'all about it. So it's not like y'all don't know she did it. It's so they like to feel like these women are only in for women's rights and they're not looking at these women's wrongs.
No, I think these girls are trying, like, they think they're girls. I don't think any of these girls are girls. I really don't. Because if you were a girl, you would support Danielle and you would be there supporting her, making sure that she's doing okay after this whole situation, and not just mugging off Chugs the way that you're claiming that he did to her. Yeah, like, Chugs has not committed himself to anybody in this villa.
Nope.
So he is free to move the way that he needs to move in this villa. These women do not, most of them are wildly self-centered. They're not even thinking about the girls. They are, in my opinion, they're not girls. I'm sorry.
It's a lot of them they are not. They say they are, but I don't think any of them are really girls. I think, I don't think any of them are girls. I'm trying to think. I'm like,
no.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of them are girls. I think they are all about.
Kaz was
a girl, and she got villainized for being a girl.
Olivia was.
I will say, yeah. I feel like Catherine is the most girl that's left, but I even think she's getting sucked in by this false girls drama because it's very false. It's not real. It's just not. But the way Chugs did it, I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna cause drama," but I'm here for it. Like it. I do wish he would have just pied Danielle because it would have just been like, a pie for a pie. You pied me earlier, I pie you now. Bam. And it is what it is. But it was interesting. I think he did Ekansu because he remembered. He said she was funny. She could take a joke. Casey pied Tina. I
swear that was Casey.
Casey pied Tina, right? I can't remember. I can't remember.
Back at the episode. I think Casey and Chugs both pied Ekin.
Well, then that means she got 4 pies.
No, it was Casey, it was Sammy, and it was Chugs. That's it.
Luca pied her. Because he said
4?
He pied her because he said what she did at the
No, I remember that.
Do
remember that.
So I'm thinking either she got 3, if she got 4. Or did Tina get pied?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm trying to scroll through the episode to see.
I think Tina. But anyway, while you scrolling, I'll keep talking. So, yeah. after all of that happens and Ekin is pied and all this stuff, Curtis was very sweet with Ekin when he did his marriage and his thing to her. It was very
Yeah.
sweet. I thought they were very sweet. They're moving back up on my list. I will say, I will admit, I like Curtis and Ekin a little bit more now than I did when they was going through their drama. Not so much. But
I am back on the Curtis and Ekin train.
I'm moving back in there. I'm moving back in there. But afterwards, Ekin and Tina are sitting at the fire pit and they're talking. Tina, admittedly, that her and Chugs talked and the kiss was aight. She doesn't have a spark with Chugs. She was like, I don't feel that spark. It's just not as, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I'm open to, talking to him more and seeing what it is. I just don't want to force anything. And so as they're talking and everything is good, Ekin's giving her some, some good advice about what she should do. Tina's telling her how she feels, and then it was that and told her she hated that she got pied so many times. And Ekin was like, it's fine, it is what it is. So Sammy, what? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I figured it out.
Okay.
It was not, you were right, it was not Casey. Casey pied Sammy because she broke up with his friend.
Right. That's who pied Sammy. Sammy
so
got
it was Luca. Like, it was
Sammy and Luca, Sammy,
and Chugs.
Yeah. 3 pies.
And Ronnie
pied Sammy.
Sammy. And so did Casey.
Right. So
and that's the tea.
But so as they're talking, Tina and Ekin, Sammy walks over, Sammy. He walks over and he's like, hey, Ekin, I just want to apologize for pieing you. Or he was saying for how much force he used in pieing her. That was what he was talking about, not for why he pied her, because he was like, I'm valid. My feelings are valid for why I pied you. I meant what I said, why I pied. Yeah. And he was like, but he didn't say all that. He just said, I'm sorry for pieing you, so hard or whatever, pieing you. And
great. Love it, Sammy. Big fan.
Love it. Ekin's like, oh, thank you. That's no problem. No, it's fine. I get it. I understand, blah, blah, blah. Elma pulled Sammy away as they walked away, like, don't apologize to her for doing this. You did what you had to do. You did the right thing. And Ekin hears this, and I'm like, why would you tell this man not to apologize for pieing a woman in the face?
Because she's a bitch.
She's horrible. So she's mad because she thinks he's apologizing for the reason he pied her. And he's like, no, I'm not worried about the reason, because the reason I pied her is the reason I pied her. And I admit what I did. I'm apologizing for the force that I did when I pied her, because it was a little hard and I didn't want to hit her in the face.
But remember, Lana, he didn't get to explain that to Elma, because Elma doesn't let anyone get a word in edgewise. She has to be the one talking all the time. And then when someone else tries to, have a conversation with her, she accuses them of talking over her. When she just can't shut the fuck up and actually listen. She has no critical listening skills, none whatsoever.
Because she's not doing anything wrong.
Because she's not doing anything wrong. Does not care about anything anyone has to say, quite frankly. This pissed me off. This whole thing pissed me off.
This situation pissed me off too, because Ekin was genuinely hurt, because she genuinely feels like Elma is her friend. And she was like genuinely hurt that Elma would tell Sammy not to apologize to her. She deserved what she got. It was what it was, and you don't have to apologize to her. And so Ekin is now crying, and she's hurt. And I'm like, this don't make no sense. These girls are too old to be acting so stupid and childish. But she's crying. She's hurt because her friend is being a real cow right now to her, like horrible. And so Curtis comes over with the drinks, and he's like, what's going on? So Tina tells him what happened. Ekin is like literally beside herself, cannot speak. She's so hurt and overwhelmed. And so Curtis is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go talk to her. And Ekin was like, she just leaves. She's like, you do what you do. I can't deal with it. I can't talk about it right now. My feelings are genuinely hurt. So when Curtis brings Elma over to the pit to talk to her, he's like, why did you have to say that to Ekin? She is already hurt. You really hurt her feelings by telling Sammy not to apologize to her. And Elma goes in. She listens to nothing but that one line from Curtis before she just goes. And she's like, if she hurt, she hurt, but I meant what I said. It is what it is. She deserved it. And I'm not going to sit here and say, I wanted him to stand up and be like, you did what you did, stand on business. You pied her, and the reason you pied her was legit and it was valid and blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to apologize to her for that. And Curtis was like, but you hurt her. And she's crying now because you are telling somebody not to apologize when they voluntarily came over to apologize to her. And she was like, well, it doesn't matter. And don't come at me, Curtis. Like, why were you coming at me like all of a sudden now it's Curtis's fault for speaking to her in a calm manner while she's hot-headed and losing her mind. And Curtis is like, why are you getting so hot-headed? Why are you getting so crazy? This is not necessary. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you to say what you're doing is hurting Ekin. And after Ekin has apologized to you several times, it's just, why do you have to keep beating a dead horse right now with her? Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to take what I said back because I said it and blah, blah, blah. And she's so hot. She doesn't even realize that she's in the wrong here because Sammy couldn't even tell her why he was apologizing because she jumped in and was like, you don't have to apologize to her. You did what you did. Blah, blah, blah. This is not going to last either.
No. I hope that Sammy sees exactly the way that Elma's been acting throughout this entire season. And I hope he leaves her. I'm going to just say that right now. I think she is a wildly unsympathetic, uncompassionate, completely insensitive, callous, disrespectful, and rude woman. And I will be limiting the amount that I have to speak about her for the remainder that she is on this season of this show. I find everything she did in this episode to be disgusting and disrespectful. And she is entitled to her own feelings and her own opinions about what happened in this matter, and what happened with Sammy. But at the end of the day, Ekin has apologized on many occasions. And the incident in question happened several days ago, and Ekin has been nothing but sympathetic and apologetic to her. And Elma has been nothing but rude, disrespectful, and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Britain, I don't understand where, in what universe, and how y'all voted her as your favorite. I do not get it. I do not wish to get it. And I do not wish to speak about her much for the rest of this time that she's on here, because I just find her to be disgusting.
Like I said, I get it why they did it at the beginning. I hope it changes after this. Because at the beginning, you felt sorry for her. After this, it's like...
And you know what, Lana? I don't think it's going to. I don't think anything's going to change. I don't see her as the kind of person to see what she's done.
Oh, no, not her changing. Oh, no, not her changing. I think the public's view of her is going to change.
I certainly hope. I certainly hope.
I think that's where we're going. I think the public view of her is going to change, but I don't think she is going to actually change because she doesn't see what she did wrong as wrong. Like, even afterwards, she just didn't.
And then can we jump to next day?
Yes, because...
where they have a conversation. I love Catherine as the mediator here. I appreciate that at least someone was here.
Mm-hmm.
And Elma is just saying, I just can't bounce back that quickly after what happened in the heart rate challenge. And I do understand that. I definitely get it. But the problem with what Elma's doing in this situation is that she just doesn't stop bringing up the incident. And I appreciate Ekin for clocking the hell out of her in that. Like, babe, you're still bringing it up. You can forgive and whatever and whatever and whatever, but you keep bringing it up. That's not forgiving. That's not taking accountability. That's not accepting someone's apology. Point blank, period.
I mean, even when she was just like, "Oh, we forget. I can't forget. It's harder for me to forget." Then, baby, you are not forgiving. If you're not going to forget, then why are we trying to forgive? You just say you
Exactly.
mad. Just say you still mad, and you go be mad because you can't forgive, and then let it go. And if that's your trust issues that you got to deal with, then that's on you. Deal with that. Sit in it. Deal with it. But what if I was Ekin? I'm like, but what you're not going to do is I'm not going to allow you to be rude to me. So if you're going to be rude to me, then I will be in turn matching your energy. Now, if we want to have that kind of energy in the villa, you continue to act the way
So
you're
be it.
acting. But I've apologized. I said I want to mend this friendship between us. I want to mend everything so we can go back to being the friends that we were. But if you are not willing to forgive and let it go, then I will match your energy from this point on. And we will have
Good.
it will be up when it's up. And I see that is me. And if I was Ekisu, which I feel like she has that energy in her to do that, I wish she would have said it. I'm like, because if you
Yeah.
want it to be up every time we're around each other, baby, it can be up. And I don't mind it. We'll have the smoke and we'll get it. But if you don't want that, then you're going to have to let this go. Because I am not apologizing again. I'm not doing it. I've apologized to you several times and I will not do it again for a little peck on the lips. I'm not doing it. Second of all, if you want to mend this friendship, you're going to have to start treating me better. Because if you don't, baby, it's up. And that's it.
Yeah.
Because and I think she needs to be talked to like that because she does not know how to talk to people right. She does not know how to talk to people right. And I appreciated Ekin telling her that and clocking her. And I appreciated Catherine being there like, babes, if you go let it go, you got to let it go. But oof, child, I was so beyond done with her in this moment. And oh no, it was crazy. But then a recoupling happens right away. Literally right away. Chugs and Sammy goes off to have a conversation. And I was like, let them talk.
I
Let them
know.
talk.
I was like, I want to hear about all the movies that Chugs hasn't seen.
Right. And I was like, I want to see them. Actually, I think Chugs and Sammy would have been a great
I think they would have
connection.
been a great couple.
I was
I
like,
think they would have
let
been a
them
great
cook.
couple. But
I was
no.
like, let them cook, let them cook. And then, but right as soon as they get over there to have a conversation, the text go off. And I'm like, son of a, jeez,
Right.
son of a.
Ugh.
And so the recoupling is going to happen. And sir, the first for you are very predictable. Harriet and Ronnie
What?
did not see that coming, but good on them.
Completely surprised.
You know who else surprised me? Sammy and Emma.
I
I was
skipped
like,
through it.
oh, I didn't think they would go get back together. Oh,
I skipped
cool.
through it.
And then Catherine and Omar. And I was like, are they
Yay!
a thing? Didn't know.
I guess they are a thing.
Guess they are a thing. Love that for them.
Hey, I hope on a genuine
No,
moment
we're
of
being very
not
sarcastic.
sarcasm,
We're being very sarcastic, but yes.
on a genuine moment of not sarcasm, I do hope that this is the reassurance that Catherine needs
Yes.
for her to be like, okay, he's in.
Yes.
I really, really do hope. Because right now, this is my second favorite couple.
Yes.
Like,
I can agree with that.
I need them to work out, please. For my mental sanity, I need them to work.
Black love is beautiful. I'm here for it.
Period. Period.
Y'all know
I
me. I
agree.
root for everybody black. Period.
Absolutely.
Then we have Ekin and Curtis, of course. Duh.
Yay!
Love them again. I like them again. I like them again. They're my third favorite couple.
They're my favorite couple right now.
Not my favorite. Just my third favorite.
Because your favorite is
Gabby and
Gabby,
Casey. I love them. I need
Yeah.
Gabby to calm it down, though. She needs to stop being so insecure. I need her to relax.
Yeah.
Calm it down. It was her birthday in the villa. She turned 33 in the
Happy
villa.
birthday,
So that's
Gabby.
good. Happy birthday, Gabby. But yeah, this is my favorite couple. I think Casey has come in and shown that he is such not the guy that everybody wants him to be
Right.
outside of the villa, and I respect the heck out of that. So I love me some Casey and some Gabby. I just need Gabby to calm down a little bit, but yeah, she's great. They're great. And Grace and Luca, to nobody's surprise, whatever.
I skipped through this one too.
I could not. But Chugs ends up picking Tina, which we knew,
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
which we knew. Even though I feel like he is going to get his heart broken, it's not going to work because she's not feeling him. She's just not. He probably would have did better with
Sammy.
He would have did better with Sammy because Tina is not going to give him. She's not going to give it.
No.
She's not feeling it. But which leaves our two islanders that were dumped from the island. Unfortunately, the beautiful Sammy.
No.
I think she just did not get a fair shake at this. I feel bad. I feel so bad for her. She's gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
And Danielle.
I mean, one could say she didn't get a fair shake either.
Yeah. I mean, they both came in, went after people in a stronger couple, and it didn't work out.
Yep. They swung big. And hey, you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate a big swing. It did not pay off for either one of them, but
no, it did not. So they leave, and not too much fanfare. Everybody kind of figured what's happening. I kind of wish they would have did the dumping after the public vote, but that's just me. But they go off and have their conversation with Maya, and Maya's like, "Girls, you both went after strong couples. What happened?" And they were just like, it did what it is.
Also, what is up with Maya Jama not being here for dumping?
Maya's
she's just interviewing.
Maya said, "I don't want to be here for all these dumpings. I don't like
I
dumpings.
guess so.
I don't want to be here. That's emotional. I'd rather just talk to him after it's over."
I guess.
I guess after so many seasons of Love Island, you could do that. You can make those demands. But
right.
They're talking and they're like, it is what it is. They talked about the Chug situation with Danielle. They talked about the Lucas situation with Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
It was what it was. Nothing big, nothing small. It was what it was. But after all of that, we are left with those couples. And that's it.
All right. Yep.
That's it.
We are quickly moving towards the end game.
So I need to know from y'all in the comments who y'all think is going to be who's winning. Who's your favorite couple? What's happening? What y'all think about this season of Love Island? Let us know in the comments below what you are feeling, and if you agree with our takes or not. Let us know. Let us know about all of that. Follow us on this channel, please. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you. Subscribe to all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links and our Patreon. If you want to get some great content from there, you get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. You get all of your merch and things there. Also, you can follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, all those things, all those places. We are there. Follow us on those channels, on those things. And you can follow Logan and I if you want on Blue Sky X and all those other things. And we're going to get out of here because we got nothing else to say. So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye.
Do 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 do.